YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another video, dude. So basically, here's what happened, okay? At my workout for today, I was charging my microphone, and I forgot the actual mic. I brought the receiver that connects to the phone, but I forgot the actual microphone part of it at the house. So, no, there's no like gym vlog today. However, I did take one video of me doing an incline press on the hammer strength machine, and this is something I've been talking about in the past few upper days, the upper and push days that I've had, talking about how I want to position my elbows on my incline. And so I'm just gonna go through a bit of a form breakdown on that. So I have 4 videos in this file right here. You guys can't see it because the webcam is in the top left portion, which is blocking some of them, but that's okay. I mean, when I open the videos up, you guys will see, right? So I'll open this guy up here. And this is me bench pressing, okay? And we just skip through it's a raw clip. So here's me unracking, right? Now look at my elbows. First rep. You can see that they are pretty far out, right? They're out here. See if I can get my chair up. Okay. They're pretty far out here, right? They're not inside. Now, this is an incline press, and with the degree of the bench, I am still hitting the upper chest with this movement, and I'm hitting my mid chest with this movement as well, because the elbows are a little bit more flared. And as you can see on my way up on some of these reps, you can see that my elbow starts. Let me see if I can scrub it. So my elbow starts inward, right? So it's a little bit tucked. And then as it goes up, my elbows flare out, especially at the hard portion of the movement, okay? So that's kind of what we want to avoid. Now, it's not a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing. I'm still hitting the chest on this movement, okay? I'm still hitting the chest. The upper chest is part of the movement as well. I am still hitting the full chest as it is. So it's still a chest movement, right? It's not like I'm losing a whole bunch of chest gains, right? Now, the issue with the flaring of the elbows is it doesn't align specifically with the upper portion of the chest, how the fibers run, right? So they go a little bit, the wider you go, the more you're going to be hitting the mid chest, right? Because those fibers run east to west, side to side, whatever you want to put it. But the fibers for the upper chest, they kind of come up a little bit, you know? So they come up and down. So they're kind of at a diagonal angle. You know, they're not straight up and down like this. They're just at a diagonal angle coming down, right? So you kind of want to align the elbows with that a little bit better, right? So what do you think aligns the elbows a little bit better? Them being a little bit more tucked in here, like this. See if I can back up. Like this. Or like this, right? So this is pretty much the end range of motion of where my elbows were at on the way up on those bench presses. Whereas we kind of want to keep the elbows in a little bit more. And of course, keep the elbows stacked under the wrists, right? So this, I mean, although I was still hitting the chest in this set right here, you can see that the elbows are just pretty flared on this set. And did it feel good on my chest? Absolutely. I remember this set. It was a good set and very stimulating for my chest. Okay. Now here is the second video here, and this is more recent. These are all taken in the new year, I believe. I think the very first one was on January 1st, but this one is recent. And as you can see, my elbows are pretty tucked on this movement here. Especially they come down tucked really good, and they come up, and it looks like they're flaring a little bit on the way up, especially towards the end of the movement, which again, I think is fine. Especially towards the end of the set, because that's when it's getting hard and I'm just trying to push through and continue to get reps, right? So there's going to be a little bit of a form failure at the end of the set because I'm trying to push through and get to it, you know what I'm saying? So, but you can see that they kind of come out a little bit. They kind of come out a little bit. Yeah, they kind of come out a little bit, right? And that is also just a part of the machine path that this is. I just did this machine today. That's the one video I took, was this machine today. This is not the clip from today, but I did this machine today, and as I was watching the video back, I'm trying to keep the elbows tucked, but honestly, the path of the machine is so fixed, and because it's on a curved axis, you know, it comes up curved and comes down curved. You're not just pressing forward, you know what I'm saying? You're not just pressing up. It kind of like curves because of the rotational point up here, I think. I'm no physics major. But you can see that throughout the set, my elbows are genuinely tucked pretty good in there. And they're aligned with that grips on the machine, right? So not bad, okay? And then here's a set from today. Here's a set from today, okay? So as you can see, especially this right one right here, you can see that it is very tucked, very close to my body, actually. Very close to my body at the bottom of the movement, and it stays tucked on the way up as well. So no flaring of the elbow. It stays tucked on the way up. The only reason it looks like it would flare right here is it's just me trying to push the weight up further. Because if I continue to push up like this, I won't be able to get it up above this right here because the machine goes up above my head. It's just not a comfortable position to be in. So towards the top of the movement is when they're going to flare a little bit. But the bottom pressing portion of the movement, let's skip back. Yep. The bottom pressing portion of the movement, they're going to be tucked, right? They're as tucked as they can be comfortably. And this is a little bit different for me. I usually don't bench with my elbows so tucked, especially on an incline, because, you know, I was afraid it would hit too much the triceps. But honestly, I'm not focusing on the tricep portion of it. I'm still using my chest to force the weight up. You know what I'm saying? So this actually felt really good for the upper chest. It was just a different way to do the movement to keep it so tucked. You know what I'm saying? And the reason that I want to keep it so tucked, right? The reason I want to keep it so tucked is if we come out of this video here and we go to this this incline fly, right? This was from a few videos ago. If I can just get to the freaking set. There we go. So the arm is not moving too far away from my body. It's actually staying pretty centered to the midline right here. And I'm bringing it up towards the midline. So it's a little bit down and out, right? It's a little bit down and out. It's not all the way out here, though, and I'm not coming up like this. It's tight to the body like this, and then I'm coming up to the midline. So if you want to think about it like that, that's how I think about doing the incline bench press these days, because this is supposed to be an incline fly, a low to high fly for the upper chest. That's kind of how I think about the incline fly or the incline bench variation, wherever it is. You know, it's a little bit more difficult on the free barbell bench press, just because it can move forward and back. So it's really easy to flare the elbows if you're not focused on keeping them tucked, which can take away from the set, right? So you're probably, but instead of focusing on that tuck on that machine, you know, if you're doing a free barbell bench press, focus on the tuck, but also, you know, don't take away from the movement too much, okay? And then on the hammer strength machine, it's a little bit easier because it's on a fixed axis, but where it swings from makes it a little bit difficult, in my opinion, for me to keep my elbows tucked. The Smith machine is probably where you're going to find your most value, though, because it's just straight up and down, and there's no forward or back movement, very stable, and all you have to focus on is from here up, boom, boom, right? Very easy to keep the elbows tucked, in my opinion. But I'm trying to mimic what I'm doing on this movement right here, because you want to keep it tight to the body and fly to the midline, right? So why wouldn't you want the press to do something similar, okay? So it's pretty close to the body, and it's coming up to the midline. I think I actually start with my left hand. You can't really see it, but that's kind of what I want to mimic, and why I'm changing the way I do the incline variation of bench press just a little bit, just a tweak. It's not like I am just only going to do this variation. You know, if I want to do the other variation, I know that I'm still going to be working the chest and its range of motion, and it's still going to get work done on it. I just think that isolating the chest, the upper chest, a little bit more might be a little bit more beneficial every now and then, you know, but it also depends on how you like to train. Okay, that's my personal opinion. Depends on how you like to train. Right now, I would like to try the elbows tucked method for the bench press. Okay. And, you know, when I start to feel like my triceps are the limiting factor of the movement, then maybe I'll move away from it. You know what I'm saying? But today, when I was doing the tucked arm path, it did not feel like my triceps were the limiting factor of the movement. In fact, I did triceps later in the workout as well, because this was an upper workout for me today. So I did chest and back and bicep and triceps. And when I did triceps later in the workout, my triceps actually didn't feel fried. It didn't feel like I abused them on the incline, which is a good sign, you know, because if you work out a muscle early enough in the workout and you work it out hard and then you try to hit it later in the workout, you could feel some sense of fatigue. But I went and did the dip machine, and I maxed out the dip machine for 3 sets. So I mean, they weren't super fatigued from what I was doing on the incline bench press in this one right here, right? And I think this is probably the best video I have of me doing the movement the way I would like to do it, right? Keep the elbows tucked, not flare them. And to do this, by the way, to do this for me on the hammer strength machine, I had to put the seat really high, way higher than I have ever put it before, just so that I can get the handles and my hands to line up where they need to be. Because if you sit down too low and you try to keep the elbows tucked, you're gonna be in here like this, like a freaking T-Rex, you know? And you're trying to push, boom, forward like that, you know, which can abuse the tricep a little bit more because your finishing range of motion is right here and not coming down here where it's a little bit more center with like where your nipples are at and pushing through like that, right? You come up here when the finishing movement is up here. Now this is tricep because you're trying to press forward and up. That's it, triceps in my opinion. Whereas if you keep it tucked inside like this and you don't bend the elbow all the way back, but you're more stacked when you come back like this, right? Instead of coming up here like this, you're like this, and then you press, then I think you're going to be hitting more upper chest and not relying so heavily on the triceps. The triceps are going to get hit on a pushing movement no matter what, but there's ways to take it out of the equation a little bit more. So, you know, very good upper day for me, I would say. If you guys are curious, I did this hammer strength incline, and then I did, it would be more like a supinated, sort of like a supinated grip. I used a mag grip today instead of the regular wide bar that I do. I used a mag grip, and I was a little bit more inward on my movement today, so the elbows were a little bit tighter on my lat pull down. And then I did a upper back row with dumbbells, and then I did tricep dips. And then I did bicep curls, and then I hit cardio and I got out of there. So, you know, that was my workout for today. That's where this video came from right here. Like I said, I forgot the microphone, so I couldn't do any gym vlog stuff. But, you know, other than that, it was a really good workout. So, you know, if you guys are curious on more bench press variations, you know, just let me know in the comments, I guess. That was just my best explanation, word vomit wise, on, you know, the progression of my incline press variation, you know. And you, like I said, you don't have to do it with the elbows tucked every time you do the movement. Hell, you probably don't even, depending on your lifting goals, you probably don't even have to worry about it, you know. But from a bodybuilding perspective, the more that you could target a muscle, especially a muscle you're trying to improve over other muscles, the better it is going to be for, you know, like the shape of the muscle, the size of the muscle, and everything for competition's sake. So, but I appreciate y'all for watching. I hope to see y'all